Okay. Um, I'm trying something a little bit different with this one. Recording from my phone, where I also have my notes, because I'm tired. So in about 20 minutes, my new movie, Just a Home Movie, comes out on YouTube, and you will all get to see it, and you will all get to interact with it and interact with me about what you thought about it. You liked it, you didn't like it, why? And I am really, really excited to hear what people get out of it, because I think that more than a lot of my other stuff, this is a movie I'm like very proud of. I think that it shows a lot of what I like as a filmmaker and a lot of what I like both watching but also like creating. It's a documentary. I really like creating documentaries, but I really like watching documentaries. And I think that this past, I don't know, 12 months has been a really big time for me discovering what are the kinds of films that I really want to create. And I think this is it. I don't think this is what I'm going to make a living off of. But I think that for me, I really enjoyed making this film, shooting it, editing it, the whole kit and caboodle. And I think if I can only make films like this from now on, I would be fine with that. This is all speaking with the naivete of a 17-year-old. So, take everything with a little bit of a grain of salt, but that's how I feel. Going in, some influences I had were the biggest thing was that I was hoping to participate in Joel Haver's shoot a movie instead of watching the Oscars competition that he's done the past couple of years. But I was going to be in DC, and I was like, well, I'm not going to film a movie while I'm in DC. And I was like, I could just film a movie out of my trip to DC. So that was a really big influence, and just Joel Haver's whole ethos in general is a big influence on this film, and just a big influence to me in general, artistically and personally. Another big influence was Frederick Wiseman, also in the special thanks for the film. I think that watching some of his stuff made me realize how interesting just slice of life, largely unstructured sequences can be, or at least how interesting they are to me. I can understand people just being bored to tears by it. I mean, if you're bored to tears by my movie, I apologize, I'm sorry. But I find it interesting. And I think a lot of it was just me wanting to take movies that were a lot less scripted and were felt a lot less scripted. Because there's plenty of great documentaries out there that still feel scripted in the way they're presented. More recently, Lance Oppenheim's new film, Sperm World. Incredible. I love it. But a lot of the appeal of that movie is how, almost fake it feels for being real. And while I love that and I think it's really admirable, I wanted to try and just create something as genuine and as authentic as I could. Like a home movie. I know, crazy. I like this film a lot. I'm very happy with it. I think that especially where it really shines is in the structure. I know I talked about it being unstructured, but I actually think that what was fun when I was shooting it, and then especially fun when I was editing it, is trying to find these little vignettes within each kind of sequence, both little story moments, but also little moments of nothing to accentuate the story moments, trying to find a way to pace the whole film so that it doesn't just blur into just noise. And I think I did a pretty good job of it. I think it works as a whole beginning, middle, and end experience. It's also short, which is nice. I think that if I was to do anything differently, it would just be interviewing people a little bit more, getting more, being a little more like a documentary and less like a fly on the wall, which, once again, sorry, Frederick Wiseman, but I think interviews are really nice. And I think it would help with some of the context and additional information of everything. Because there is so many people in this movie And that brings me into my next point, which is the labeling of people. I am so sorry if I forgot to label you or didn't label you. Plenty of people I'm sure I forgot. Plenty of people I didn't. The two that I'm going to shout out right now is Maggie and Gwen Filardo, I think is how their last name is pronounced. They're both introduced in the same shot, and every shot, that shot as well as every other shot that they are in, there are so many people in that when I tried to put their title cards in, like their labels, it was just noise. It was too much information at once, and I feel so bad because I have had great conversations with both of them. So if you're watching this, I apologize, and everyone else that I'm forgetting about here, if I forgot your name, didn't put it in, I apologize. I really wanted to make sure that every person who is there could feel seen, but at the end of the day, I also have to make sure that it is a very easily watchable experience, something that doesn't overwhelm the audience. And I think that if I labeled everyone, it would be too much information. Yeah, and I think that's actually maybe my biggest regret with the movie is just I'm just kind of doomed from the start. Like I can't think of a better way to do that than how I did it. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's something that I think I'll lose a little bit of sleep over, but then I think in a week or so I'll be fine. Yeah. Finally, I'll just do some general kind of takeaway stuff. I hope that you enjoy this film. I hope that it is a film that you get a lot of meaning out of, or even if you don't get a lot of meaning out of it, I hope that it's a film that just reminds you that people can be kind because, well, there's, drama in every family. I feel like the Wilson family, both Wilson and non Wilson, the people who are there are just some of the kindest people I've ever met, and I really wanted to highlight that. And I hope that coming out of the film, one thing that you're left with, I hope you're left with a ton of stuff, but one thing I really hope that you're left with is just like people can just be so nice, and this is a beautiful thing that happened, and I hope that it feels like you by watching it were kind of a part of it. And yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. Thank you for watching this. If you watch this and not the movie, okay, that's a little weird to me, but you know, go get them. I have like 10 minutes to edit this before the movie comes out, so I'm gonna stop talking. But thank you. Bye.